Your Olympic hero has arrived. It's true, it's true.
You're watching Fugitive Redeye, and welcome to another episode of Redeye Raw. Today I'm going to be talking about something that ties into two previous episodes. Those two previous episodes being modern gaming and subscription services. I guess that one, the subscription services, was a rant, wasn't it? But it's going to tie into that too. So, today I'll be talking about the concept of games as a service, which is something I think is fucking terrible. But it's also convenient. Let me say that straight up. But I'm going to explain the positives and negatives and why I'm ultimately against the idea of games as a service. But before I do that, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent here. Because this is a completely unrelated thing, and I think it's kind of funny. Because of the lack of self-awareness of it, right? So a while back, when I started doing the Newgrounds game reviews, one of the games that I played first, which I haven't reviewed yet, but I will someday probably, is Spiral Clicker. Now, if you don't know, Spiral Clicker is a hentai game where you mind control women into becoming your slaves, essentially. That's kind of the point of it. It's not exactly highbrow entertainment, right? That's literally the point of the game. And it's just kind of a dumb clicker game. It's not really advanced. You just click the screen over and over again to progress. That's really, you just click to win. But there was a comment I saw on it once where someone criticized the game for none of the characters having pubes, and they said that was quite oppressive to women. Okay, you're literally playing a game where you're using an ability called Mind Break to make women submit to your will, and that is what you say is the whole fucking point of the game is oppressing them. If that was an issue, don't play that fucking game. It's... what? Like, I get if you have that preference, and they did actually add a girl with pubes in later add-ons. But I just thought it was funny that guy, that's the part that he thinks is oppressive, when literally the whole fucking game is. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why I wanted to go off on that tangent so badly. I've been wanting to shoehorn in that comment just for the lack of self-awareness for a while. But I couldn't think of what's the word? I couldn't think of a proper video to, topic to have that be the focus of, so I thought, fuck it, I'm talking about modern gaming. It's a stupid online flash game. Might as well bring it up here. Anyway, let's move on now to games as a service. So, what are games as a service? Well, really, it's exactly what it sounds like. So, like a subscription service to play games. Xbox Live, I guess, could technically be looked at as games as a service in a way when you look at multiplayer games, but that's a whole other thing. We're not talking about that. We're talking about things like PlayStation Now and Xbox, Game Pass. That's what it's called, Game Pass. I don't have either one of those things. And I don't understand enough about PlayStation Now to be sure that it's the same kind of thing. If there are any PlayStation fans, I'm sure you know better than I do. But I will say this. Talking about Xbox Game Pass, there are a lot of positives to it. You just pay one fee monthly, you get Xbox Live, and you get to play games for free. You get to play a ton of games for free. All the Halo games, I think all the Gears of War games... just a ton of stuff, right? They're all part of Game Pass, so you never have to buy a game again, ideally. I have been told that they do rotate some of them out, but essentially, if you're just a guy who just wants to do that and just pay, monthly, yearly, whatever, I don't think it's yearly anymore. I think it's tri-monthly is like the longest one. That is. But that's the problem. Well, I'll get to the problem in a second, right? That's a perfectly valid option, right? Theoretically, you could just do that. Cool. But, since a lot of games are getting pushed to Game Pass, I think that this is an attempt, and this could just be me being, making up a conspiracy theory about it, but I think that I'm right. I think that what they're doing is they're creating Game Pass, getting people hyped up for that, and then one day, a few years down the line, I think they plan on making Game Pass and things like that the only option, so you can no longer buy games. That's why games will be as a service. So you'd have to have a subscription to play any video games at all, including single-player games. That's just my theory of what I think they're trying to do. I think they are trying to do that. They're trying to make it so that, games will increasingly be looked at as a service, so you have to pay, constantly to play the same game that you've been playing. That's one of my biggest problems with that kind of thing. That's why I've never been big on MMOs or anything like that, because those are already subscription services too. I don't like that idea. I don't like the idea of having to pay constantly for a game you already have paid for. I think it's fucking stupid. I don't like that idea at all, and I'll never support that. That's why the only times I've ever played World of Warcraft is on free trials of it. And even then, I never really got into it. But in addition to that, right, with the games as a service thing, that's another way to have a big fuck you to physical media, because let's face it, the gaming industry, I don't think, likes physical media because they want to be able to push, buying digital so that you can't go out and buy a used copy and screw them out of the money. Excuse me. But I don't think that I will ever support anything like that. Physical media is important. And if gaming ever becomes just strictly gaming as a service, guess what? I'm just not going to play any new video games ever again. I like to stick to what I have anyway. I mean, I don't play a lot of new games. I played Doom Eternal. That was a new game, for sure. With that one, though, I had my problems even. I thought it was fucking stupid that Doom Eternal had, you had to create a Bethesda account. I thought that was fucking stupid as fuck. But hopefully that game works offline. I'm kind of tempted to test it and see if it does work offline, because I don't like buying games that do not work offline. There's been a couple of times where I have, either unwittingly or if they were really cheap, but as a general rule, I do not buy games that require you to be online at all times. There are multiplayer games I've played for sure, and I do sometimes get Xbox Live subscriptions for that, and again, that's why I went on that whole rant, right? Because I buy Xbox Live when I need it. I do not buy Xbox Live just because I want, I don't buy it for, extended periods of time and then not use it. What I do is, I get some friends that say, hey, you want to go play Halo or something? I'll be like, oh, sure, and then I'll buy Live for, a month. And then I'll use it, twice and then never use it again. I don't want to have auto-renewal, so I'm constantly getting fucking charged to, for a service I don't use. And with Game Pass, I don't want to be charged, for all these games I'm not going to play. I'd rather just buy the games I want, play them, and then be done with it. I don't play games as much as I used to, like I said. I'm much more into, watching movies, watching anime, making videos, things like that. That's not to say that I don't like playing video games, because obviously I do from time to time. I mean, I do game on this channel, at least I have in the past, and I do intend to again. Like I said, I plan on streaming again at some point in the future, and I need to continue some of the playthroughs I've started as well. And in fact, I played a game just the other day. I played Serial Experiments Lain, the game. So there you go. So it's I do like video games, for sure. But I don't want to have to rely on gaming as a service, and maybe that won't ever take over. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. But I feel like, in the end, they do want to do that. Because think about it. Microtransactions were originally not that big of a thing. But after Overwatch and a few other games like that popularized them, they became the norm. Most games tend to have microtransactions now. Not all, but quite a few do. And I think that it's pretty stupid. I don't like microtransactions. They're fucking retarded. I don't like them. That said, that's a completely different thing from games as a service, right? But I remember when they were announcing, before Halo Infinite had its announced trailer, right? They had talked about how they want to make the next Halo game something to be in line with games as a service. And this, I think, is what they were talking about in that, was things like Game Pass. And again, as a matter of convenience, I don't hate having Game Pass as an option, but if it's popular enough, greedy companies are going to be like, I can just constantly charge these people to play a game that they already paid for. Instead of just having them pay $60 up front and playing it that way, I can just keep charging them indefinitely, and that's how they play it. I don't like that. And again, that's not the only option as of now, and maybe I am being paranoid, but it's progression. That's how the gaming system has worked, or how the gaming industry has worked, rather. Back in the day, we used to have things called unlockables. What do we have now? We have DLC. And that's not to say that games don't have unlockables. Now, every now and then you'll get some that do, for sure. Mortal Kombat still has its crypt system, although you can buy it with real money now. That's fucking lame. You could do that since Mortal Kombat X, and that's why I don't like Mortal Kombat X that much, was partially because of the focus on microtransactions, or at least having the option of them, but also partially because I didn't like most of the new characters. They focused a lot on them, and frankly, I thought the story was okay at best. Didn't even bother with MK11. I've heard some people say it's great. I've heard other people say it's bad. I don't like the woke Jax cutscene. I think that's fucking stupid, so I don't know. I just don't like games as much as I used to. Like, I love going back and replaying the old stuff. I have a friend that I've been playing Halo games on co-op with, right? We've been doing it split screen because I don't have gold. So what we do is we come and we play Halo. We played through Halo 1 already. Then we played through Halo Reach. We're currently about halfway through Halo 2. We're going to play through all the Halo games. And you know what? I've had a blast doing it. Because again, I like single-player games, and I like couch multiplayer. I like couch co-op. That's like a dying breed now. And again, that was a big problem with Halo 5, which everyone bitched about, rightfully so. But yeah, I think that games as a service, as an option, isn't horrible. But I think if it becomes popular and successful enough, it's a slippery slope to where it becomes the only option available. So yeah, I mean, that's all I really have to say about that. Couple other things I'll briefly mention. I finished all the Shin-Chan sets I have now. Again, I have Season 1, Part 1, Season 2, Part 1, Disc 2 only, not Disc 1, and Season 2, Part 2. And it's driving me nuts that I can't get more. I've been binging the shit out of Shin-Chan. I'm gonna do another Redeye Raw, probably later today, on the topic of getting into things in Obsession, so maybe I'll do that after I'm done with this. Yeah, I ordered a few other things online. There's a Shin-Chan Game Boy game I ordered. There's like a couple of those. There's at least 3 of those. Of course, I have that South Park Game Boy game that I have played a little bit. I do want to do a stream of that when I start streaming again. I'm thinking of bringing the capture card up here again soon. That doesn't mean I'll start streaming again just yet. Again, there's still a few ducks I gotta get in a row, as the saying goes. But there are... I am thinking of, if I'm not going to be streaming, at the very least I could be using the capture card and doing playthrough episodes like I used to. And I'm thinking for that, I'm going to continue Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic from the current save I'm on. And I might also continue the Elder Scrolls Morrowind, because I know that Corbin would like that. And I certainly would too. I love Morrowind. It's my favorite Elder Scrolls game, atmosphere-wise at the very least. I don't know about story. Maybe story-wise? I don't know. The point is, I really like Elder Scrolls, so I would be happy to do more Morrowind. And if I do it, as playthrough parts, I can do it before I start streaming again, so that would be cool. That said, I plan on doing that soon. I might do another Redeye Raw here in a little bit today. But I think that's all I really have to say for this one. Games as a service, well, it's an interesting concept. I don't want it to take over the industry. Toodles.
That sucked. I'm sure glad that's over with.
I'm a Michael Jordan.